What if I told you that this tiny old coin, the kind most people ignore, drop in drawers, or forget inside old boxes, could carry a story older than generations? Today, we're looking at something that at first seems ordinary. But the moment you stop and really examine it, things start getting interesting. This coin appears to be in 1946 D. Lincoln wheat cent. You can see the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front with the words, "In God we trust." Liberty, and the year 1946 stamped beside the small D mint mark. Turn it over, and there it is, the famous wheat. Designed with 1 cent, United States of America, framed by 2 wheat ears. Simple? Maybe. Ordinary? Not so fast. Now imagine this. This coin was created in 1946. Think about that for a second. This little piece of metal has existed through decades of history. It may have passed through thousands of hands, traveled across cities, crossed countries, sat inside collections, or disappeared and reappeared after years. But here's where things become fascinating. Most people think old means valuable. That's not always true. In the world of rare coins, value hides in details people miss every day. Tiny marks, mint locations, condition, errors, surface texture. Even one small difference can completely change the story, and this coin gives us clues. Looking closely at the front side, the date still appears visible. The details on Lincoln's face show signs of circulation, which means this coin has clearly lived a long journey. The edges show normal wear, but the identity of the coin still survives. On the reverse side, the lettering remains readable and the wheat ears still stand proudly, something collectors always notice first. But the biggest question is, could this actually be one of those hidden coins people accidentally spin without realizing? Because the year 1946 sits in an interesting period of coin history. The world had just entered a completely new era after global events changed economies forever. Production restarted, materials shifted, and coins from this period became pieces of living history, not because they are all rare, but because every surviving example carries time inside it. Now, imagine finding something like this in an old box, a family collection, a market, or mixed with regular change. Would you recognize it? Most people wouldn't, and that's exactly why coin collecting becomes addictive. You stop seeing coins as money and start seeing them as stories. Today we're going deeper into this coin's design, hidden details, history, collector interest, and the possibility that something small can hold a much bigger story than anyone expects. So before you scroll away, look at this coin one more time. Ask yourself how many people touched it, how many places did it travel, and what secrets has it carried for almost 80 years? Because this might be more than just 1 cent. Now that we've seen the outside of this coin, the real mystery begins. Because old coins never become interesting because of their size. They become interesting because of the stories they silently carry. Looking at this coin again, the first thing most people notice is the year, 1946. To many people, that's just a number. But to collectors, dates are like time machines. Every year printed on a coin represents a completely different world. Different people, different moments, different hands touching the same object across generations. And that's where this story starts. Imagine holding this coin on the day it was first created. Its surface would have been bright. The details would have looked sharp and clean. The edges would have been stronger. No scratches, no fading, no signs of age. Just a brand new 1 cent coin ready to enter circulation. Nobody holding it at that moment would have imagined that decades later someone would place it under a camera, zoom into every tiny detail, and wonder if this small object was hiding something extraordinary. But that's what makes coin collecting different from almost every other hobby. Collectors don't simply look at objects, they investigate them. They search for clues. They compare details. They ask questions nobody else asks. They notice things that ordinary people ignore every day, and this coin gives us questions. Who owned it first? Did it stay in one family? Did it travel through different cities? Was it forgotten for years? Did someone save it intentionally, or was it discovered by accident? Those questions cannot always be answered. But that mystery is exactly what gives old coins their power. Now look carefully at the front side. Abraham Lincoln's portrait still stands there after decades. The words around him remain visible. Time has worn parts of the surface, but the identity survived. That alone tells a story. This coin wasn't locked away forever. It lived. It circulated. It moved. Every small mark could represent years of use. Think about that. Most objects disappear, paper tears, boxes break, technology becomes outdated, but coins survive. And when a coin survives for generations, it slowly transforms from money into history. That transformation is what collectors chase, not because every old coin is worth a fortune, but because every old coin becomes impossible to recreate. Even if another coin has the same date, it doesn't have the same journey. That's what makes each surviving coin unique. Now imagine this coin sitting inside somebody's pocket decades ago. Maybe they bought food with it. Maybe they received it as change. Maybe they carried it every day without thinking about it. Years later, it ended up somewhere on